Hello everyone, I want to welcome you once again to this brief YouTube tutorial on how to make a bag. First of all, bags are made from patterns. To be able to get a great bag, you have to get a great pattern created. Then we move on to selecting the leather, then we move on to replicating our pattern on the leather, cutting it out to create that perfect idea that we have drafted on the pattern. Then we move on to assembling all the different parts. For this one, we are going to be assembling the zips, the handles, the pockets, the inner linings, the sides, the handles, all the different parts that make this bag up, the different compartments inside the bag. All of these are things that we have already thought about from the beginning of the job. So now we are just bringing to life all of those things that we conceptualize in our mind. So right here we are creating the flap for the zip, which we are going to attach to our front part of the bag. In bag making, there's a lot of gluing, a lot of gumming, a lot of hammering, a lot of sewing. Those are the things, but majorly calculations are very important because it's calculations that help us to arrive at a perfect job. We have to be very on point with our calculations. Okay, this side to this side, are they the same number? Are they the same length? Are they the same height? Are they the same? Are they the same? Those are the things that make for a uniform look, a neat look, a sharp look. So here we've attached the zip. We're going to sew. And after sewing, we're going to attach the upper part. We're going to attach the handles. We're going to do all of that. Here we want to attach Mako. Mako is a soft foam like stuff that we use to give strength to the bag when we don't want it looking all lazy. So we do that, we mark, we use silver pen, we use it to mark on dark surfaces. We use that to get out the image of what we want. Then we cut, then we trim, we attach, and we file, bearing in mind that however we intend the end of the job to look like, we bear that in mind from the very beginning of the job. So we do not wait for the end before we then make it look good. So we make sure every step counts in the overall look of how the bag comes out to be. So we gum. Gluing is a very fundamental thing. Here we must glue. In bag making, we must glue. At the Bube Training Institute, we train all our trainees to be very, 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 very independent when it comes to conceptualizing, because it's all happens in the head. We all have to be able to think, how do I want this bag to be when there are new challenges? How do we want this bag to stand out? So those are some of the things we are working on. Here we want to cut out the top parts that will carry the handle of the bag. So you see how important patterns are, because we always refer back to the patterns. Here we want to cut out the front pockets, then we'll move on to cutting out the front flaps, then we move on to attaching them. We will need to line it. We need to give some strength to the front part. We use Mako, we use Mako, we use paper, we use everything that we can find to make it strong, but not too strong, but strong enough to give us what we need. Then we will sew. We cut out the front. Now we are attaching the side. We cut a long stripe. Depending on how wide, how big, how deep you want the pockets to be, will determine what you do. Then we hammering are key. Hammering, gluing, sewing, fundamentals in bag making. Then we move on to sewing. We sew. Here we're making use of a Protex industrial machine. Very good for handling tough leathers and the rest. So we move on to attaching all the embellishments that we need to attach. We'll move on to attaching this front flap that we have cut out to the body of the bag proper. Then we attach the front pocket. Then we move on to lining the individual components. We'll line them in with what we want to see on the inside of the bag. Then we move on to the next stage, which is attaching the sides of the bag. We attach the sides, then voila. So right here we want to attach the flap, but you see everything has to do with arrangement. We have been able to arrange them very well because we got that done from our pattern. So now our front and back are ready. We'll join the sides, we'll line them, then we've attached the hands here. Hands have been sewn, the bag has been lined in. Et voila, our bag is ready. So it's very simple. It's very simple, very easy, but it all begins with easy steps. Thinking about it, what do I want? How do I want to go about it? Then getting how to start. This is the finished product. This is what our bag looks like after a very long process of production. This is what it looks like. So we want to encourage you to give it a try, to try it out, and let's see what you're able to come up with. Drop us some comments in the comment section. Tell us what you would like to see us make, what you would like to learn from us. Then you're also welcome to our training institute, where we train you on all types of leather works. All types. At the Bube Training Institute, we train you in shoemaking, bag making, belt production, everything that pertains to leather. We are the home of good tidings. We make everything awesome. So you're welcome to give us a call at 080-6510-8804. You're welcome to give us a call. This is the Bube, the home of good tidings. Thank you. Don't forget to like and share.